God created the heavens and the earth. So I'm gonna take a pause there because notice those three words. So we got the beginning, heavens and earth. This dude, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Kevin Hovind, but he says this. He gives a dope concept. I'll kind of explain those three things. So notice that in the beginning, so there's time, right? So God created time. God existed outside of time. Understand that. Though I have these three elements, God existed outside of that. So God never had a beginning because God is eternal. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but like he's almighty. So I don't think we are supposed to understand everything about him. Or else, we kind of be God ourselves. So it makes sense that we don't understand everything, but he existed outside of everything. So God created all those things and he's outside of all those things. And it's just so dope how he had to create that order in that sense. Because if he didn't, then understand then how would those things operate? How would they work? They work in correlation to each other, but each one had to go in a specific order. And just understanding when we talk about like, if you're kind of having trouble wrapping your head around like God being outside of the thing he created, like understand the person who created the computer is not inside the computer working it. He's not limited by the confines of the computer. Maybe not the best example, but that's, kind of what I'm getting at with that. So kind of moving forward, we get to mankind. So if we go down to Genesis 1:26-28, where it says, "Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea, and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground." So here we go. I'm probably going to take a little bit from Sherry Thompson. She has her own Relentless Endeavor, her own Bible study and stuff. I did a Bible study with her. She was great, phenomenal. So I'm taking shout out to Sherry on this one. Got a couple of her notes and stuff I'm kind of using for this. But understand that. So we see that God created mankind in his own image to govern his creation, right, with authority to rule and to subdue it. So when we understand like we're made in God's image. So what I was telling you before, so if God created everything in the earth, right, that takes an aspect of creativity, right, and then how he created it within the specific order. So there's a specific order of design. Like he had logic in his head when he created everything. And think about us as humans, how we display those same things. Right? You see an artist, beautifully painting something or drawing something, or you see people taking photos, even just playing sports. Like the creativity that us humans possess, it came from somewhere. It came from someone because we're made in his image. And understand that we're created to have authority, to rule, subdue the earth. In the same way God has authority over everything, he was giving us authority over the earth. That was the purpose for us. Right? When he created us, that's what the goal was. And then notice that he says in our image. So it's not just one, like our God is a triune God. That means 3 in 1. So there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So it's one God, 3 roles, all working at the same time. So some of the best ways I could explain it. I know one way that some people like to explain it is, so if we have water and it has 3 forms: solid, liquid, and gas. If I remember listening to Jackie Hill Perry, she said the issue with that is they don't all, are operating simultaneously, like how God is, how the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit, they all operate at the same time. There actually is a point where water is a solid, liquid, and gas. Goodness, I forgot what the term is, but there's a specific point where it's happening at the same time. But I had another example to kind of help explain the 3 in 1. So think about our body, and our body is basically composed. We have skin, bones, and muscles. 3 different roles, but it's all makes up one body. I know you get technical throwing the organs and all that stuff, but listen, I'm just throwing that into muscle, okay? I'm trying to keep it simple. But they all have 3 different roles, 3 different functions, but they all make up one body. So kind of similar, in a similar sense of, the triune Godhead and like the Trinity. And it's just interesting, just a side note, something to consider is like, think about how many things are made in 3s. Like you ever thought about the rule of 3s? I was literally telling you about past, present, future. length, width, height, solid, liquid, gas, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, I could go on. There's a whole list. Just something to consider, in your own free time or later. Just it's not a coincidence. But anyway, continuing on. So understand that Adam and Eve were to take God's intended plan from Eden to the rest of the world. His plan for them to have authority to rule and subdue the world, subdue the earth, subdue what he created. So understand the way we were created, it was not accidental. It was not just by chance. If we was all created as an accident, then we'd have no purpose. But no, there was intention, design, and purpose because we were made in his image. And that's why we all as people have value, because we were made in his image. So our value, understand that our value as people does not come from what is we do, but because of what was already done, who created us. God gives us value